With the start of the Adamant Time Event, you could now do up to 25 guaranteed lucky trades. Now, there's a lot of misconception regarding how this mechanic works, and that is mainly because of how Niantic worded it, but this is actually something that you should utilize because it's a great way for you to pick up shundos and hundos. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can trigger your guaranteed lucky trades and dispelling a lot of the misinformation that is currently being spread online. Alright, so with that said, let's get right into it. Alright, how's it going everyone? It's me, it's Jinsula. I hope you're having a good day and welcome to today's Pokemon Go video. So, within the Pokemon Go community, the current buzz is around the 5 additional guaranteed lucky trades that you can now do. Actually, I think it's actually 10 additional lucky trades, and that is pretty massive because if you have Pokemon from the year 2018, you can actually get yourself some really nice lucky Pokemon. For newer players who do not know what it is, lucky Pokemon are basically those Pokemon that you can occasionally get from trades that will have a lower cost for maxing them out, as well as typically higher IVs. The reason for that is because lucky Pokemon come with an IV floor of 12, 12, and 12, which means you have the best odds of getting perfect IVs through lucky trades. I believe the chances of a lucky Pokemon turning out to be perfect IVs is 1 in 64, which out of everything in Pokemon Go is going to be the absolute best rate. So if you want yourself hundos and shundos of very specific Pokemon, well, now is your chance to get them because you have up to 25 guaranteed lucky trades. So now let's talk about how you can trigger guaranteed lucky trades. Basically, all you have to do is trade a Pokemon that is from the year 2018 or before. Basically, it needed to have been caught before December 31st, 2018. If you have any Pokemon like that and when you trade it, you're going to get a guaranteed lucky trade. Now, it doesn't have to be you that has the Pokemon from 2018, it could also be your trade partner as well. As long as just one of the players has a Pokemon from the year 2018 or before, you're gonna get yourself a guaranteed lucky. Now, something to keep in mind is that every single player has a hidden counter for how many of these guaranteed lucky trades they can do. Right now, it is currently set to 25, which means you could do this up to 25 times and get yourself up to 25 lucky Pokemon. The one key thing you have to keep in mind is that not a lot of players are aware that this counter exists. So there is a high chance that they've already done a couple of guaranteed lucky trades without even realizing it. So yeah, you may not end up getting up to 25 guaranteed lucky trades, but you should get pretty close if you haven't done a lot of trading. You also have to keep in mind is that every single player has their own counter, which means if you have already done your 25 guaranteed lucky trades, but the person you're trading with has not, then you can still get yourself guaranteed lucky Pokemon. As long as their counter hasn't reached the limit of 25, and they are the ones trading the Pokemon from 2018 or before, then that trade is going to end up being lucky. Yeah, guaranteed lucky trades is how I've gotten a couple of my shundos and high IV shinies. It's one of the best ways for you to get a lot of really good Pokemon for your collection. I really do think this is something that's very important, especially for a lot of newer players who are trying to get some of the best Pokemon. Now, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, there is a lot of misconceptions that are being spread online regarding this one mechanic. And one of the reasons for this is actually because of Niantic, because when they initially described this particular mechanic, they actually used a lot of terminology that was very confusing, and it caused the Pokemon Go community to have a lot of misconceptions. So first and foremost, like I said earlier, every single player has their own counter, which means if you have not hit the 25 guaranteed lucky trades yet, then you can still get yourself guaranteed lucky Pokemon. Again, all it comes down to is how many Pokemon from the year 2018 or beforehand that you have already traded. If you have not traded up to 25 Pokemon from those years, then you will have up to 25 guaranteed lucky trades. It doesn't matter if your partner has already hit the limit. It only comes down to whoever is the one trading the 2018 Pokemon. Now, something else to keep in mind is that lucky friend trades do not count towards this counter. That is very imperative because I know there's a lot of people out there who think they've already hit the 25 guaranteed lucky trade limit because they've done a whole bunch of lucky friend trades. It doesn't matter if you've traded Pokemon from 2018 or beforehand with with these lucky friend trades, it's still not going to count towards your guaranteed lucky counter. Now, something else to keep in mind is that you can still get lucky Pokemon from trades even if you've hit the guaranteed lucky limit. So if you've already done your 25 guaranteed lucky trades and you have a whole bunch of Pokemon you want to get rid of from the year 2018 or beforehand, you can still trade them and possibly get yourself some more lucky Pokemon. The reason for that is because the chances of a trade hitting lucky is actually increased depending on how old the Pokemon is compared to the Pokemon that's being traded. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say you're trading a Pokemon that's from the year 2022 and you're trading it to a player who is giving you a Pokemon from the year 2017. Well, the chances of that becoming a lucky trade is actually pretty high compared to, let's say, two trainers trading two Pokemon both from the year 2022. Since the duration between the two Pokemon's timestamps are so little, the chances of them being lucky are actually minimal. But if the duration between when the two Pokemon were caught is wide, then your chances of it becoming lucky is actually pretty high. Now, considering that every single player has a hard limit to how many guaranteed lucky Pokemon they can get, I really think you should save these guaranteed lucky trades for Pokemon that you specifically need. There is plenty of legendaries that are really good for the Master League, and it's imperative that you have the highest IVs possible. And the best way to get those high IVs is of course through lucky trades. Rather than sitting there and waiting for you and your friend to hit lucky friends, you could do these guaranteed lucky trades to possibly get a 100% IV of your favorite legendary. And of course, this is a great way for you to pick up shinies, which are some of the most coveted Pokemon that you can get within Pokemon Go. Like a 100% IV of a rare shiny is always going to be the dream. So if that is your goal, then this is a great way for you to pick those up. The nice thing is this is a permanent mechanic, so you do not have to worry about any kind of time limits or anything like that. This mechanic is not going to go away after the Adamant Time Event ends. It's going to be here forever. So if you want to take your time in getting all of your guaranteed lucky trades done, you are free to do so, especially because eventually they're going to increase the limit again. So maybe you want to save them up for when you eventually have a lot more guaranteed lucky trades that you can do. And yeah, with that said, that's going to be it for this video. And yeah, I'm really glad that I could share this info for a lot of players. Like I said, I think a lot of players are not even aware that this mechanic even exists, and I really do want to spread the word because this is a very awesome mechanic, and it's something that every player needs to utilize. But yeah, I would love to know your thoughts regarding guaranteed lucky trades down below. What have you used these trades on, and what Pokemon are you looking to get? Share all of that info down below, and let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it to this point in the video. If you found it to be helpful and informative, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. Now I want to give a quick shout out to all my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support my channel in any way, big or small, then make sure you go and check out the links in the description below. For all my patrons, they get a permanent spot on my in-game friends list. So if you want to interact with me in some way within Pokemon Go, like with remote raids or the friendship system, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. Also, if you want to support my channel without spending any money, you could always do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula, and I'm on these following platforms. Alright, and that's going to be it. I'm Jinsula, be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.